Hi there and welcome to this FlexAline exercise video. Today we're going to spend a bit of time on our back lines. We're going to spend a bit of time on lengthening the fascia and the muscles that sits at the back of our bodies. It starts off at our feet, all the way up our calves, at the back of our thighs, our backs, necks, and all the way up to our heads. So we're going to just lengthen out the back line, and that's really helpful, especially if you're battling with any back issues, or if you've got lower back pain or neck pain. It's especially helpful to release the neural tension that we've got at the back of our bodies. We're also going to try and we're going to reach our toes with our legs straightened out. So remember, as we get older, we tend to become more and more stiff. So it's great to spend some time and just get yourself in a position where we're lengthening the back line, because we don't necessarily throughout our daily living get a chance to really lengthen and release the back lines. So join me. You're going to need a tennis ball for this. It's just to roll the plantar fascia at the bottom of our feet, and we're going to do that in standing. If you don't have a tennis ball, please just take your hand, and in sitting you can just release the fascia from the heel of your foot to your toe. So I'm literally just taking that tight band that we've got underneath our feet, and I'm just releasing that with my hands. I'm just rubbing all that tightness out underneath my feet. Okay, but first things first, let's check our freestanding forward roll in standing. So you can join me and let's see how far we can reach down to our toes. So come up in standing, just make sure you're comfortable. Your feet are shoulder width or slightly wider than shoulder width apart. And we're just going to start off by rolling forward. So I'm tucking my neck in, I'm rolling my shoulders forward, and one vertebra at a time, I'm just reaching all the way down as far as I'm comfortable to go. So I can almost just comfortably reach my toes. Just get a good feel for where your tension is. Is it at the back of your thighs? Is it in your calves? Is it in your back or in your neck? And just get a feel for that, and then roll up. So I'm going to roll up one vertebra at a time. I'm activating and engaging my glutes to get me up. And lastly, my shoulders and my neck follow to get me up and standing. Let's do that once more. I'm tucking in my chin, rolling my shoulders forward. One vertebra at a time, I'm rolling forward and reaching down. My knees are soft, not totally locked, and I'm just rolling forward to that position where I'm comfortable, and I can feel quite a good stretch at the back of my calves and in my thighs. So that's already a good feeling, just to get that stretched and to get that going. Right, let's roll back up. So engage your glutes, and let's roll back up into standing. I'm going to use my tennis ball, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of my foot. It's nice when you do this in standing, because then you can put some weight on your foot and on your tennis ball, and you can just roll that plantar fascia out. So the plantar fascia sits from your heel and it comes all the way up to your toes, and that's often quite stiff. We've all been wearing some boots and closed shoes in the winter months, so our feet might be quite stiff. If you're a runner, you often sit with a tight plantar fascia there, so we can just loosen that out by rolling it over our tennis ball. Remember, if you don't have a tennis ball, you can just come down and sitting and just massage it out. And just work, especially in the areas where you can feel it's tight. So with your ball, really slow it down and just work in the area where you can feel that you're stiff. Okay, so we're doing one foot, and then we're rolling our ball over to the other side, and we're rolling that out. Remember, if you might have a problem with a chronic plantar fasciitis, and then it could be quite helpful to do this 2-3 times a week if you're battling with chronic stiffness in the fascia. And just roll that out. Also working on balance. which is so important, especially as we get older. So just roll your fascia out. You can also easily hold on to something if you need to. And let's roll that out. So we've just started with the back line right at the bottom, and we've rolled out the fascia underneath our feet. Right, from here we're going to do a stretch. We're going to stretch the soleus and the calf muscles. So from there, you can just reach to a wall. So I've got a wall at the back of me or on the side. I'm just going to show you to the side. So my one foot is popped behind me. I've got a straight knee, and I'm just stretching out the calf muscles. Try and keep your heel and your toes in line, and they're facing forward. And just come into that stretch. You need to feel it sort of at the bottom of your knee or somewhere along your calf. And let's just hold that stretch there. And let's switch sides. So with a straight knee at the back, I'm stretching the back leg, stretching the calves. And also compare the two sides. So while we're doing the stretching and the lengthening, remember to compare the two sides. It's always nice to feel what your left and right sides compare, what they compare to. And just keep that stretch there. Just hold it for another couple of seconds. And let's lengthen the back line, and let's reach and stretch it out. Right, and let's switch sides once more. Bring your toes slightly in, and now I'm just flexing the back knee. So I'm just, instead of straightening it out like we just did, I'm bending the back knee. So now you'll feel the stretch coming down towards the heel, and that's the soleus muscle, which is so important as well. So we need to stretch that part out as well. So let's stretch out the soleus muscle and hold it there. Hold that stretch. It's a completely different feel to the stretch we just did for the calf. And let's switch sides. So just slightly flex your back knee. Keep your heel down, so that back knee, the back heel, it needs to be down on the floor, and you should feel that stretch towards your heel. When was the last time you stretched any of these muscles? And they do need it. Let's just hold it there for another couple of seconds. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay, and let's come down in sitting. Okay, so for the next stretch, we have done this before. So if you've followed some of the exercises before, we have lengthened the hammies and lengthened the back of the thigh before. So you've got one leg straightened, the other leg is bent in. And we're just going to lower and reach down to our toes, and we're going to come back in. So I'm reaching with my hands at the outside of my thighs. I'm reaching down to my foot as far as I'm comfortable to go, and I'm coming back in, hands on the inside. So we're just comfortably lowering and lengthening that back of the thigh muscles, the hamstrings. And it often just helps to do this a bit more rhythmically like this, because we're able to reach a bit further with every rep. I'm able to reach down a bit lower, and just see if you can comfortably bring your head down to your knee. Exhale as you go down, inhale as you come up. Let's just add our breathing in it. And really just comfortably lengthen and lower down and reach back up. Let's do one more. And back up. Right, let's change sides. over to the other side. So one leg's bent up, the other one's down, straightened out, and let's reach down. I can feel the stretch happening at the back of my thighs, but I'm also feeling my back. And I'm getting a bit of a stretch in my back, which feels so good. Exhale as you go down, inhale, coming back up. And let's reach down. Come back in. Reach and lower down. It feels good. And let's lower down. I'm going to do 2 more. And 1 more. And let's bring it in. Let's bring our feet together. Open your knees wide. Open it nice and wide. Bring your knees down as far as you can towards the mat. So to stretch out the hammies effectively, the back of the thigh effectively, we need to do a sequence of 3 stretches. So the hamstrings was the one we just did. And now we're doing the inner thigh. And thirdly, we're going to do the glutes and the piriformis muscles. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. And the reason we're doing those 3 stretches in a sequence is because the muscles are innervated by the same nerve, or they've got the same nerve supply. So it's always more effective to just stretch out them in a sequence than what it is to stretch out just the hammies. So we're just nicely stretching out the adductors, the inner thigh muscles. You can sit up nice and straight. You can also pop your hands at the back and just reach out a bit further, and that allows me to drop my knees even further down and just to maintain that stretch a bit better. And let's hold it there for another couple of seconds. And let's relax that. Okay, so from here, let's lie down on our backs. Okay, let's come down on our backs to stretch out the glutes and the piriformis. So I'm crossing one foot over my knee, and the knee that's down on the ground, I'm reaching up and I'm just stretching it and pulling it up towards me. Relax your neck and your shoulders, and you should feel a stretch in the glutes of that bent knee. And let's hold it there. Just feel that stretch. Relax your lower back into the mat. Keep that knee bent up and pulled up. Let's hold that for a couple of seconds. Remember, we're stretching out the back line, the muscles and the fascia of the back line, and the whole idea is to try and be able to reach a bit further down and to get some length in the back line, but also some better neural mobility. And let's change sides. And let's hold it there. Just a comfortable pull towards your chest, knee towards your chest. Relax your neck and your shoulders. Take a couple of deep breaths while you're here. Let's hold it there for another couple of seconds. Take a deep breath in. Okay, we're going to come up on our knees, and we just comfortably gonna stretch our backs out. So from 4-point kneeling, let's really round our upper back, so it's almost like a cat stretch. Tuck your bum in and let's sit back on our heels and just feel that stretch comfortably running, especially in your thoracic spine and a little bit lower down. Let's hold it there for a couple of seconds. You might also want to keep it rounded and sit over to the one side. That focuses the stretch to one side of the back. Hold it there. And let's switch sides. Keep it rounded and let's stretch that side out. Hold it there, comfortably stretching out. And let's stretch it out further. Lowering down and just comfortably allowing yourself to reach down to the mat. So I'm stretching out my shoulders, upper back. Okay, and lastly, we're going to do a bit of manual release from the fascia at the back of our necks. I'm just going to show you what we're going to do. So I'm just going to pop my fingers underneath the base of my skull, and I'm just going to release the muscles at the back of my skull. All those fascia and muscles that joins up in there. So that's the last little bit of the back line that we're going to release. So you can do this by lying on your back and just having both your hands just comfortably getting your fingers underneath the base of your skull. Just comfortably lying down. I'm just going to loosen all the fascia down there at the base of my skull. And where you feel it's quite stiff, you can really work on that area. So if you feel it's stiff on the right or stiff on the left, just work that area specifically. And we're not only releasing the fascia and releasing the muscles, but we're also getting good blood supply in that area. And this is quite an important area because that's where the spinal cord runs through and where it meets your brain. So just work that area to get some good blood supply in there. And remember, we're working the back line, but we're also working on better neural mobility. So it's quite important to release the fascia at the base of the skull. And it feels quite good just getting in there. Just relax your head on the tip of your fingers. And that also just, the weight of your head just allows you to get in there a bit deeper. And just release all those tight muscles. If you're battling with headaches, that's also often a source of your headaches, a source of the pain. So you might want to contact your physio and just get that all released out. Especially if you can feel that you're quite tight, or if that gives you any referral coming up to the front, any referred pain. Right, and now from here we can do our freestanding roll down once again, and let's check whether we've been able to lengthen our back line if we've been able to lengthen it a bit further. Right, so you can come up in standing. Okay, so join me for one last freestanding roll down, and let's see if we can reach a bit further. So firstly, tuck your chin in, roll your head down, your shoulders comfortably roll forward, reach down one vertebra at a time, and just comfortably allow yourself to stretch all the way down. I'm quite happy with the result. I can definitely reach a bit further, and the tension that I've had in the back of my
thighs and in my calves has definitely eased up a bit. So let's roll back up, one vertebra at a time, engage your glutes, and let's roll it all up.
And let's end off in standing. Thank you so much for joining me, and join me for another video. We will do a bit more strengthening. Bye.